In the Kenyan market, mid-size and compact crossovers have a very high demand. That is because of the design, fuel consumption, and most importantly, practicality on our Kenyan roads, because majority of the buyers want a car that has an elevated sitting position and most importantly has some reasonable ground clearance. Welcome to 0 to 60 Motor. Once again, my name is Bill Siotori, and today I'm going to analyze this 2018 Honda Vezel RS package. So when you are looking at the 2018 Honda Vezel RS package under the 2.5 to 2.7 million pricing, cars that can be in the same class or can look as competitors to this car include the Subaru Impreza XV, we have the Mitsubishi RVR, we have something like the Suzuki Scudo, and you can also include the Mazda CX-3. 0 to 60 Motoring makes your car ownership journey easy. We've prepared very many reviews on our social media platforms, that is Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and they are going to help you make an informed decision. And in case you want us to help you scout a clean car, subject it to all the necessary checks, and take you through the purchase process, you can get in touch with us via the number below. So when you look at the Honda Vezel, this is a car that is loved by ladies mostly. Even from our scouting experience, majority of the people purchasing Honda Vezels, they are normally ladies. Why is that the case? When you look at this car, it is a compact and a well-looking car, especially for these 2018 variations. You can see that the face is now somewhat revised, and it's a stylish package, if I may use those terms. This is how the cabin of this 2018 Honda Vezel RS looks like, and you can tell that it's quite generous with features. You have a multifunctional steering wheel with media controls on the left side and cruise control on the right side. You have electronically adjusted half leather seats for both the driver and the co-driver, and most importantly, these seats are actually heated. And for the driver seat, you have a memory function setting. You can always set that on this door here. From the size of this Honda Vezel, of course, being a compact crossover, you know that in terms of the space, it may not pack as much as space, but buyers of these cars, I think, already know that. You cannot compare this one maybe to something like a CRV or the X-Trail, because these are somewhat compact. The amount of knee room is not bad. Even the amount of headroom is not that bad, unless maybe you are an extremely tall person. For a person of my stature, I don't think I'm going to have a problem whatsoever with this spacing in this Honda Vezel, especially for the front seats. At my driving position, this is the amount of knee room you have, and you can tell why I was saying that it is not as cramped as it may look like, unless the driver is an extremely tall person. And of course, for the headroom at this backside, I don't have a problem whatsoever with this car. Of course, you can tell that it's not that wide, and that means that the back seats are best suited for 2 passengers. Now, when you are looking at the 2018 Honda Vezel, it can be served in 4 different trims when you are looking at the powertrain and the drivetrain. We have an RU1, RU2, RU3, and an RU4. So the RU1 and the RU2 are the non-hybrid variations, and the RU3 and RU4, those are the hybrid variants. So the RU1 is the non-hybrid but front-wheel drive car. RU2 is the non-hybrid but all-wheel drive, and the non-hybrid is actually a 1500cc. Now, the RU3 is what I have here. It is the hybrid Vezel 1500cc with a hybrid but front-wheel drive. The RU4 is the 1500cc hybrid but all-wheel drive. And now when you are looking at the Honda Vezel, the hybrid one comes with a 7-speed dual clutch, or if you like, you can call it a DCT transmission. And that is what I have here. This is actually an RU3. 1.5 liter front wheel drive DCT gearbox. If it was an RU4, it could be using the same transmission and same engine, but it should be sending power to all the 4 wheels. So in terms of the power outputs, the Honda Vezel Hybrid normally packs more power than the non-hybrid variation. For this hybrid setup, you are looking at a combined power output of 130 horsepower and 160 Newton meters of torque. In the non-hybrid variation, you are looking at around 100 horsepower. Now, that is actually what actually makes the hybrid variation more powerful than the non-hybrid variant. And then the difference in the transmission also makes the hybrid package a better driver on the road, because for the hybrid package, the dual clutch transmission offers a more engaging drive compared to the non-hybrid variation, which actually comes with a continuous variable transmission. Another reason why someone is going to purchase a Honda Vezel is fuel consumption. Now, for the hybrid Vezel, you are looking at numbers over 21 kilometers per liter. For those people who drive gently, it is likely that you're going to register better numbers over that 21 kilometers per liter. But from our car scouting experience, for me, that is my realistic fuel consumption. And when you're looking at figures like 20 kilometers per liter, there are not many cars in the mid-size crossover family that are going to beat that number, away from cars like maybe the Mazda CX-3, the diesel variation. So the decent fuel numbers of the Honda Vezel Hybrid is also some reason that is going to propel someone into this car. Of course, if you settle for the non-hybrid variation, because it doesn't come with a hybrid setup, the fuel numbers will be around 15, 16 kilometers per liter. So the hybrid package is more powerful, offers a more engaging drive, and registers more numbers. But the non-hybrid variation is less powerful, doesn't give a really good driving experience, but it's mechanically simpler. So when you start the car, the dashboard, in most cases, you'll see something written ready EV. So that tells you you can always move the car using the electric setup. But when you start moving and there is need for more power, by just pressing the accelerator pedal, the car is intelligent enough to learn that you need more power. And in such a case, it's going now to switch on the engine such that your demand for more power can be met. So in low speeds, like when you are in traffic, you can always be moving in EV mode, and that is going to play a key role in terms of fuel consumption. But on the highway, if you engage sports mode, the car cannot be running on EV mode only. It will engage the engine, and now it means that it may not be as efficient as it is expected to be. When you look at the mechanical setup of the Honda Vezel, the biggest issue with the Honda hybrids at the moment is the DCT, or if you like, dual clutch transmission. It is a gearbox that is going to give you a very engaging driving experience, but then it is extremely sensitive to maintenance and driving style. If you are aggressive, it is likely that in the future you're going to get into problems with the DCT gearbox. Of course, I've seen Vezel's Honda Fit Hybrid and Honda Grace failing transmissions at the hybrid variations. So it is something you really want to take care of well. So if you are a person who is very aggressive with the gas pedal, you better stop that lifestyle, because the DCT transmission here, while it is going to give you a good driving experience, it is allergic to an aggressive driving style. So for the reliability of the Honda Vezel, the main thing that can go wrong is the transmission. Honda makes the best hybrids in the business. So you can trust that these are 1.5 liter with the hybrid setup to rake in over 250,000 kilometers without skipping a beat. If you take care of it well, the battery pack should do over 200,000 kilometers without necessarily needing any form of reconditioning or replacement. So for this car, the only thing that you should be wary of, or that needs extremely good care, is the DCT transmission. And now that is actually the part that makes the non-hybrid version mechanically simpler and easier to run, because for that car there is actually nothing that is going to go wrong away from the low power numbers. So if you have 2.7 million shillings, are you going to consider the Honda Vezel RS, or you are going to look at the competition, the XV, the Scudo, the CX3, the RVR, and those sort of cars? Let me know what will be your choice in the comment section. I think that a short review is enough for today. In case you have any question regarding this Vezel or the rivals XV, RVR, Scudo, and those sorts of cars, you can always check our social media platforms. We've done comparisons of the Vezel versus all those cars. And in case you have a question that has not been answered in those reviews, you can always get in touch with us so that we help you make an informed decision. All right, guys, I think that is enough for today. I'll see you on the next one on 0 to 60 motoring.